everyone, welcome back to my channel, Sharon Cullen Art. I'm going to show you a few things that I've gotten recently, and then we're going to jump right into a bit of a painting. And so I'll just get right to it. I've had a few items. In fact, I've done this video a couple times and then I end up getting something else, so then I add it to the list. But a few of the things, since we had been doing the Tiny Tuesday tutorials, I had bought these little Hana Mule books, and I thought they were so cute. They're just 2-inch by 2-inch books, and they're really a cute little book. I'll show you real quick. I don't think they're cotton paper. I think they're just regular 140-pound paper, but they're all accordion, and they have, I think, 18 pages. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 17 pages in their booklets. So you can do a panoramic, you can do lots of little ones, whatever you'd like to do. And then this little red thing just hooks over it. I just got 2 of them and figured that would be a good start for me, because as far as little paintings go, I really don't prefer them. I'm trying to get myself more used to doing that, and larger ones as well. Another item I had gotten, which I thought that I had canceled, which was very strange, were these Blackwing natural pencils, because I had ordered these and they never came. So I asked for a refund, and I went ahead and ordered these, these are both boxes of 12, both the same pencil, just in different packaging. And then these came. So I don't know if I got my refund. I think they realized what they had done, and so they quick sent them out the day after I had asked for my refund. That's probably what happened. But if you're not familiar with Blackwing pencils, they're very, very expensive pencils, but they were pencils that were made in the 20th century. Let me adjust this camera down a little bit so you can see me, right? Get it straight here. There we go. That's a little bit better. They were made in the early 20th century, and they have, I think, 4 different levels of pencil. I'm trying to find one of my darker ones, but I do not see it here. They have one that's black. I forget the name of it, but it's about level with a 9B pencil, I believe. And then they have pearls, which are called firm, but they're really more like a 2B. And then they have the naturals that are more like an HB, which is what I like for sketching for watercolor. So it took me a while to figure out what was what, because it's not on the boxes that way. I had to go to their website, learn about the pencils a little more. But these were made in the early 20th century. And then, like in the 1990s, they closed the company down, but there were so many people who still wanted the pencils that pencils were being sold for $40 a piece. One pencil, $40. That's how good these pencils are. So anyway, in 2010, they started restocking them again, and you can buy them by the box, which is still pretty expensive. If I remember rightly, they're about $40 a box of 12 or something like that, but they will last you forever. And then a nice thing about these pencils too is that the erasers are replaceable. So when your eraser is done, you can hike it up by pulling the little pinchy thing out, hiking your pencil up, your eraser up a little more, and then popping it back in the thing. And then you can buy replacement pencils or erasers. You can buy replacement pencils too. But and each pencil has a different color eraser. So these pearls, I believe these are pearls. The 602s are called Pearl. And they have pink, they're gray pencils with pink erasers. The naturals are natural pencils with gray erasers. And then the soft ones are black pencils, and I believe they have a white eraser or something like that. But anyway, that's those pencils that I got. Then you all knew about this little palette that I've had for years. I did a review on this many years ago. It's somewhere back in my videos. This is by wellspringgift.com. There's their address if you're interested, or you can find her on Etsy. She sells these. And when I got this, I thought it would be so cool to have a double-sided palette, because at the time I felt like I needed to carry tons of colors with me, which I don't anymore. I got some of them jammed right now. So anyway, it's got a mixing tray in the center with colors on both sides, which is fine. And it's had plenty of use, as you can see. A lot of them are getting empty. But the problem is when I have colors over here that I want to mix with colors over there, I've got to remember to pick the one side and not put it on the mixing tray until I flip it to the other side. And then if I have to add more of that color, then I'm dribbling down, because this has to go back and forth. Not a great situation. So putting these little mixing trays in has helped me so that I have a well to put them in, and you can use it that way. And then I also went back to art-toolkit.com, where Maria sells her palettes. I bought the Art Toolkit in the past. You guys have seen this as well. I'm sorry, I just bumped my camera again. And it has everything that you would need in it. When you buy the kit, you get a little syringe for filling a water brush. You get a little bitty spray bottle. Actually, this one I exchanged for the one that they gave because I think it was even smaller yet. And then you get a little ruler. You get, I believe that's pretty much what you get. But then I ended up getting the little Demi palette when she first came out with them. And it is the size of half of a business card size palette. So I wanted to get another business card size palette with only one side. So I bought one from her, and as you can see, it is half, this is half the size of a business card palette. They're both very nice to have. These are great if you want to stick something in your purse or your pocket, sorry men, or your merce or whatever you carry. Stick one of these in your pocket with a little sketchbook. You can even carry a little sketchbook like this. You can put your little Demi palette under it, grab a pencil or a pen and a water brush, and you're ready to go. And you've got yourself a little sketch kit that you can carry with you everywhere, doctor's appointments, whatever, you know. But I wanted to go ahead and get this one, and so I got this one, and it came with a full set of the full pans. But I have so many different ones of these, and sometimes I like to change the colors out, and I haven't used the colors up yet. So I bought a bunch of pans from her. I just put them in this tin, but I bought another set of 10 full-size palettes. I bought some of the full-size mixing trays like I showed you in that other one. I bought the little half pan palettes, or wells, whatever you call these things. And I bought the square ones, which can also be used for paint or for mixing. They're the size of 2 of the full pans. I got a couple of those, and they're all color-coded so that you know what's what. And then I got another set of full pans. Now, to buy these online, boy, some of those Etsy people really rake you over. What a racket. I'm telling you, what a racket. But she prices pretty fairly, and so I've been very happy with giving her my business. So that's what I got there. Now, my final item that I got, I have not opened, and I've had it for a couple of weeks, and that is the Graphitint paint set by Derwent. I have the Graphitint full set of pencils, and they are nice and everything, but I'm not much of a watercolor. Oh God, there's a spider. That must be the one that I lost a couple weeks ago. He's back. He likes to sit next to me. He'll sit down beside her. But anyway, I got these after seeing Essie, one of my followers here on YouTube and on Instagram. She had painted with them, and I did not know they had this. So I went ahead and bought them, and they were out of stock. They were back ordered for like 2 months or something. I had totally forgotten about them, and then they came in the mail. So this is what they look like, and it comes with a little water brush that you can put together here, and it's got the plug in it so you can take it apart for travel. And you get a little Graphitint pocket color swatch. And I use these if they're accurate. If they're not accurate, then I make my own, but usually I make my own. And then there's 5 mixing tray areas in this as well. These are half pan size, and I'm trying to see if they are replaceable. It looks like they come in these squares. Yeah, oh, maybe not. There's like a set of 6 squares that comes together, but then there's a pan inside the squares. Let me see if these pop out for replacement. It looks like they do, yes. But it's kind of nice that this comes apart. So it looks like you can replace single pigments. And these come apart in these 2 sets, and you can clean underneath, which is very nice. And then they just snap into place again. And it comes also with a sponge on the side. Many people ask me, what's the sponge for? That's for cleaning your brush off. And some people use it for their painting purposes if they want to dab with it, but really it's just for wiping the sponge on the side. And then you can clean it. Now, I've not always been a fan of Derwent's water brushes. I'm going to try it and see how it works, but I've found that they leak or they don't squeeze water out at all. But then again, to be fair, I've bought some Pentels, which are my favorite brand, and sometimes they don't squeeze water out at all. So let's go ahead and swatch these, and then I'm going to get started and do a painting with them, okay? Oh, but before I do that, I also wanted to address, I've been getting a ton of comments from my last video on my, my last Tiny Tuesday tutorial. I was trying to find it up here. This one. It's the one that I just did yesterday, but I don't know when this video is going to go up, so it may not be yesterday. I had several people kind of complain that the videos were too easy for them, and somebody said most of us are not beginners, and that's not the truth. I have a lot of beginners who follow me, so I want you guys to be aware of that. I do have to do some beginner tutorials because some people don't cover them. And the reason most artists don't cover them is not because they don't want to help beginners get started. It's just that for some, that when we're more advanced than beginner tutorials, we get bored very easily, and I am getting very bored with doing them myself. So I am going to advance them. I got several ideas. Many of them were fall related, which I had said in my video. I had a lot of stuff planned for October. I'm going to be doing pumpkins. I will be doing more fall scenes and fall trees. Somebody said they don't want to see any more trees with no leaves on it. This is the one and only one that I have done with no leaves on it. Even the one that I did last week had leaves on it. So I'm not quite sure where she was going with that. And these had leaves on the trees except for the couple of bushes in the front. So I'm not quite sure what that was all about. I don't quite know how to take her sometimes, so I don't know. But I am going to try and do more advanced things for you. I also, now that Pat's surgery's over and I'm getting caught up at home a little bit and he's getting a little bit more independent, I can now go ahead and start doing more paintings again. And I will be doing those. Somebody asked for a mousse. Oh, somebody asked about my finger too. It's staying bent, but I can straighten it a little bit. I am getting some movement. It's a little hard, but I do these exercises every day, and you'd be surprised how easily my finger tires out. But I've been wearing my splint at night, and when I wake up in the morning, my finger is nice and straight like this. But then as the day goes on, it goes back to this. So I think this is as good as I'm going to get, but I've got use from it, so I'm perfectly happy with it. My son, on the other hand, has not been faring so well. His thumb, he cannot flex. And so he had major surgery to have his tendon reattached. They cut him down here, they cut him across his hand, and reattached the tendon. But I'm not real pleased with his doctor. He had stitches 8 weeks after surgery, which is uncalled for. I don't get it. And he would take out 1 or 2 stitches at a time. I'm not sure what that was all about. He was healed, so they had to dig him out. I don't know. But anyway, he's not getting much movement, and he's being seen by a physical therapy assistant. He has not been evaluated by a physical therapist, which is a big difference in schooling. You're talking a master's degree versus a certificate. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. So keep him in your prayers if you could. I really hope he gets the use of his thumb back, because without being able to bend down or do this, you don't have use of your thumb. Losing a finger is nothing compared to losing your thumb. You need your thumb. So if you could keep him in your prayers. And I think I've addressed everything. Somebody wanted a moose for a Tiny Tuesday tutorial. I will not do that on this small of a working space. I probably could, but to get the detail that you'd probably like to see with a moose painting, I need to go a little bit bigger, at least 5 by 7. So I'll probably save that for something like that. My pumpkins will be coming up. Yes, there will be more fall scenes. And yes, I'm moving into winter. So there will be more trees without leaves on them. But you're welcome to watch somebody else if that's the case. And a lot of you wanted flowers. I will throw some flowers in there. Somebody wanted sunflowers. I plan to do sunflowers. So, and I am going to do a lot more journaling. The journal thing is coming, and I plan to do that. In fact, maybe today I'll do a little bit of my journaling with the Graphitints. That'll work out well. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I will be doing the digital journaling as well. Many of you wanted to see both. So I will be doing both. But I will be doing a lot of teaching on how I do my journaling process, how I choose what I'm going to draw for the day, and what I write down. And it's actually very basic and very simple. So I'll get to that, though, in just a bit. Let's get started with the Graphitint, shall we? First of all, the first thing I noticed is the well for this is so small. It's very, very small, so I don't know how long the water would last with the Graphitint, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to use this first. And I'm just going to start and run across here. I want to make sure you're in frame. I apologize for the problem not being in frame the other day. I'm really sorry about that. These are very, very vibrant. More vibrant than I remember the pencils being. It looks like they will bleed like a watercolor. My understanding is that they are just watercolor mixed with graphite. So that was very, very strong. And the colors do not match what you see here at all. So I didn't realize how red this was going to be. But they're very pretty. So let's see now this next color. I could be wiping my brush off here. Like I told you guys. This one looks yellowy, but it might be very green. Oh, it is very yellow. Almost a yellow ochre color. I'm surprised I'm hardly touching the pan when I put this color on. This one is more of a green. Looks very light green. Kind of a spring color, or olive even. We'll see how light these dry too. I want to get a little more strength up at the top. Whoops, I just went outside my circle. I'm shaky today. Oh my goodness. Okay, this one looks gray to me. Almost black. The squeezer on this is a little tougher to squeeze than Pentel brush. which is softer bellied. It says to push there. Maybe I'm not pushing in the right spots. I guess it doesn't matter, I wouldn't think. Okay, this one looks like a blue-gray. I was just looking online, and it states that Derwent ranges their products on a scale of 0 to 8 for light fastness, with 6 and above being considered very light fast. In the 24 set of Derwent Graphitints, 19 of them are rated 6 and above, which is an excellent ratio, apparently. So that's better than I thought they were. Now, I don't know which colors those are. I'll have to look further into that. They even dry vibrant.
From your calendar. Call Dad. Starts now.
Sorry. I have to remind myself to call my father, or I don't take a break to do it, and then it's too late. And he's gone to bed. Because he goes to bed at like 6:30. He shuts his phone off. So this one's purple. Get some more water on this and bring that tone down a little bit. Pat actually went out to visit a neighbor today. Can you believe that? He's riding our side-by-side, so it's not so bad, but I was taking care of this 93-year-old man, doing dressing changes for him because he had a wound on his head, and then I had to stop because he said he caught a cold, and Pat was going to have surgery, and I couldn't bring the germs home, and I catch everything, so I ended up on steroids over the last couple of weeks, and I wasn't sure if it was from it being September or if it was because I was sick, and I think I may have caught a little bit of what he had. Luckily, I came down with it the day of Pat's surgery, so Pat was not sick, thankfully. And I tell you what, when somebody's having major surgery like that and you cannot be at the hospital with them, that was horrible. He is such a strong person to go through that all by himself with no visitors. I don't know. I had many patients who never had visitors, so I'm dipping my water brush just to make this go faster. I'm not a water brush lover, and I'm going to switch over, but I just wanted to give this a shot. This brush isn't bad. It's not leaking at all, so that's good. These colors are very beautiful. So now I've got to figure out what it is I am going to paint. I'm going to pause my camera. But look at this. Look at the grain in this. Let me focus this. Can you see the granulation effects that you get from the graphite? It's very pretty. So you can get some cool effects with this. And I'm going to go ahead and put a sketch on some paper, and then we will get started. As far as this goes, the colors on this are called Autumn Brown, Russet, Meadow, Green Gray, Slate Green, which is nothing like this color. This is very blue. Ocean Blue. Then we've got Steel Blue, Dark Indigo, Aubergine, Juniper, Port, and Graphite Gray. So those are the colors you get. And I know there are more colors in the Graphitint pencils. I can't say that. So I will grab those too, because if I want to do some drawing on top of that, I want to show that what you can do. You cannot fit this in here with the cap on. You have to undo the pencil or the brush. You could probably fit it in without the cap, yes, but then you run the risk of screwing up your brush. So you have to take that off, put the cap back on so that your water doesn't spill all over like I just did. And then stick it in your palette and close it up, and you're ready to go. It's a nice small palette. The palette measures 5 3/4 by 3, and then it's about just about, let's see, 7/8 of an inch deep. And I'm sorry, I did not do that in centimeters. If you want to hear it in centimeters, it is 14.5 by 7.5 by 2. Excuse my cough. And I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of paper to do a sketch. Actually, I'll probably just use my sketchbook. And I'm going to do some journaling, and I will show you how I do that with those. I wanted to show you at the time that I bought these, I don't know if it's changed, but they were a set of 24 colors, and this was the set. And you can see how grainy they get. Now, I'm not sure what kind of paper I used here, but this was B paper, which has a very fine tooth. And I'd like to go with a finer tooth with Graphitint anyway, because I don't like how pencils settle into the holes. If that's the way you like it, that's great, but that's not what I care for. So you get 12 of these versus 24 pencils. To draw this nuthatch, what I'm doing a nuthatch right now. It was the first bird that I saw this morning, so I'm putting it in my journal. And what I do is I put egg shapes on in the shape of the bird, round area for the head. I begin to connect things, look at the shapes. This is the nuthatch that I'm using. I'm using a photo from online because I did not take a picture of the other one. The beak is fairly long in relationship to the size of the bird. The eye is set forward. I have it set back. I'm going to erase my circles here so that I can see my bird a little bit better. Eye is set right about here. It's a small eye. The male has a black tuft on the top of the head that swoops down by the eye and comes up. These are odd looking birds. And then down behind the neck, this comes like that. Halfway. I put dots in where my feathers should go so that I know the layers of the feathers. This one comes to about right here. And then these others come across the back. These come up. And then the tail comes straight off the back. This is a little too rounded. I need more rounding under the belly. And the back is more straight. Like that. This comes down, way down, and then up. There we go. And then that's all belly. And then the tail feathers come straight off. Okay, I got my bird on here. Now what I would do for deciding my journal, I'm sorry, I pick up my eye pencil was on the floor. I didn't want to run it over. When I'm deciding to journal, all I do is pick something from my day. I'm picking a bird because somebody had asked for birds and another person asked for parrots, but in my journal I want to stick with things that are relevant to my journaling. So that's why I chose this one. And I may take some liberty with color just so that I can use a little bit more color in my paintings. I want to get a small brush here. I'll use my 3. That one's in between and it's got a good point. Okay. So now the first thing is that it's got kind of a gray-blue color. So I'm going to go in with some of this brighter blue, and then I'll eventually go in with this. This is slate green, I believe. No, this is steel blue and then dark indigo. No, that's steel blue and dark indigo. Which is this one? Ocean blue. So I'm going to start out with the ocean blue color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's this color over here. And I'm going to be doing light washes to start, just so that I get used to the colors. I can always darken them, but I'll just go ahead in. I like the blue. And then I want to use the black also. I'm going to do some light gray. I think I'll use this gray over here for the head. Although the last color is pretty nice. This one is more neutral. This graphite gray. Yeah, the other one's a green gray, I think. I'm going to go in with the graphite gray. Mix them together. That's okay. For the face, there's a little bit of white in front of the face, but or behind the face, but I want to put this gray in. I'll just go right over the eye. And I'm going to go take it into the beak, which is going to end up darker. But I can also go into this area that will be black. I want to try and keep this clean over here. There we go. This tends to dry pretty fast. And more of this blue-gray. I'm going to take the blue-gray down. There are some areas of white I may add in after the fact. I do have a white Graphitint pencil. I'll see if I can put that over the top. It may not be possible, but we will see how that works. And I see a little hint of pink in the photo. So I'm going to take this purpley pink color and just add it a little bit in here. Just taking some liberties with the color. Take that steel blue down. Which one was that? Number 6. 6, that was this one? Yeah. What is that noise? Oh, it's a butterfly that's stuck up on my ceiling. And that spider is trapped in a bowl. He can't come out. It's really disgusting. But he keeps wiggling around and he's making me very nervous. That poor butterfly. The wings are getting torn up. Okay. Looks like when you put this color down, it's down. It's not going to move around a lot. So, keep that in mind. And I'm going to go ahead with my black now, which was... Which one did I think was black? Maybe it was the steel blue? Yeah, it was the steel blue. I'm going to use the steel blue for number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 6, 7 is right here. This is the one I thought was black, and then it had a blue color to it. So I'm going to go in nice and dark with that for my head. I see very little bleeding going on of color. Pretty much stays where you put it. This goes all the way into the beak, like that. And I'm going to use this for the eye also. Left a little white dot in the center, but if you miss that, you can always add it afterward. one thing I noticed with the Graphitint paints is that the colors that are in the pans are difficult to differentiate on just some of the colors. Because of the graphite in them, they all have an underlying gray tone. So if they're not vibrant like that red and yellow and pale green that you see on the top of that palette, then they're really hard to tell apart. And that's why I have to keep counting where I'm at. Okay, so I've gotten my pictures down that I wanted to use, and this got a little bit out of control. So I think I'm just going to go around it with my pen. You can just do whatever you want in your journals. What I try to do, somebody was saying they didn't know what to write in a journal, but wanted to get started in that. So for me today, what I'm going to write about is that is the first bird that I saw when I woke up this morning. So I decided to paint it. And then I'm going to put in some information about the graphitints and how I finally got them, how I decided to do a YouTube video and show how I'm using them, etc., etc. And then I'm going to add in something else. I keep hearing fighter jets going over my house. They do that. We're in the flight path for their war games. So they love to fly straight up in the air and freak us out and come down on our houses and stuff like that. It's real lovely. It's not something we wanted to happen, but fighting the FCC, is that who it is? I forget. Not the FCC. Whoever it is that you're supposed to fight for flying and that kind of thing, they will not agree with us for stopping it. And we didn't, it was stopped in the city up the road about 30 miles. And they said because of the population. The population is actually heavier here, but since they're vacation homes, they're not counting them. The non-residents don't get counted. But in the summertime, there are a lot of people in this tourist area. We are right on Lake Huron, and it's part of the turquoise, what do they call it? The blue water coast is what they call it. Because normally the waters of the Great Lakes have more of a greener hue rather than a blue hue like the ocean. And ours has more of a blue hue, and it has to do with the sands and the water and all that stuff and the depth. But anyway, neither here nor there. What I was going to get to was that this could be a spot for me to put in a fighter jet, although I'm not really a fighter jet drawer, so I'm not sure I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up, and I'm going to write a little bit about it, and then I'll show you what I've done. Sorry if you hear the fighter jets going over. They're still going over. It gets quiet and then it gets real loud. But I don't even know when it's going to get loud because they're already on top of me. But I wanted to show you something else that I got while I was out. Some of you had also asked about when I would be plein air painting again. And somebody wanted to see some of the local buildings around Port Austin and that kind of thing. So I'm going to get back to that. And something that I got so that if I'm painting in my car, which I do a lot because of my pain, I got this tray to go in my car, and it hooks to the steering wheel. And then I can have a tabletop to do my painting on. One side is a flat tray with a pen holder, and the other side is a food tray with a cup holder. I'm thinking that the cup holder could be handy for putting my water in, although it would be on my right-hand side and I'm a lefty, so that may not pan out. I do also have this little one here, but it's too small, I think, for anything but a small pill vial maybe, and that's about it. But I wanted to show you that. I am getting back into the plein air painting, I promise you. I also got something else to try. Is this phone holder, basically. And it's so that you can sit and you can watch your phone, or if you wanted to watch things or whatever. But for me, I want to be able to put it on and then film what I'm painting. So hopefully I can adjust it to be shorter and then pull it back and then bring it down. It's bendy, so I'm hopeful that this is going to help me with my painting, with the tripod issue that I always seem to have. So now I'm going to get back to the journaling and show you the rest of that. Okay, so that's pretty much how I do my journaling. I just take something from my day and I put it into my journal. I always want to date it so that I know what time of year it was, when it was. That way when I'm looking back on it, I will know those things. But basically that's all I do. I try to fill up a page with different things, and you've seen some of this stuff. I'll go back to watercolor too, and I will be doing some gouache in here as well. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of how I journal. Basically all I wrote was, the first bird I noticed in the yard this morning was a cute little nuthatch that was climbing down the tree by the feeder. These birds are so interesting the way they hang upside down. Sometimes I wonder if they're just trying to show off for the other birds who can't do it. These birds stick around for the winter. Then I put over here on my Graphitint, I put that I got my Derwent Graphitint paint set finally. It was a couple weeks ago. They were back ordered 2 months. And then also I put on here that I did my unboxing and Graphitint and journaling video today while Pat is sleeping. He's inside taking a nap. So anyway, so that is it for my journaling page for today. I will do some videos on the digital journaling as well. I heard many of you were interested in that. and I will continue to work in my journal here. I will also get out and do some plein air painting as well, especially now that I have that tray. It's good to have the option to have a table on my lap, but I will try to fit in everybody's, whoops, I forgot my paper clip. I will try to fit in everybody's requests. It's going to take some time. I did get a bunch of pumpkins yesterday from a girlfriend whose niece was selling them and had 4 acres worth of pumpkins. So I will be doing some plein air / still life of that in my journal as well. Maybe I'll do that one tomorrow. We'll see. But then I will also digital journal about those things as well. So in the meantime, everybody be courageous, paint with wild abandon, and most of all, be kind to each other. Take care and have a great day.